is Into the Book. So I'm going to go ahead and search it, and it comes right up. This is the home page. It's super kid friendly, kind of fun. It has a students section and an educators section. Then the educators section is broken down into teaching tools and professional learning. The professional learning section is awesome. It gives plans, standards, things like that. I just wanted to mention it also gives an SLO goal and objectives. If you have to write an SLO, that's an awesome feature, but I'm not going to dive into that. So I'm going to dive into teaching tools and about this project. So Into the Book is a multimedia free website that focuses on reading comprehension. It also works on taking reading comprehension skills and applying them into other subject areas and across all settings, which is super important. It's made up of a student website, a teacher website, and a professional growth website. It focuses on 8 reading comprehension skills: using prior knowledge, making connections, questioning, visualizing, inferring, summarizing, evaluating, and synthesizing, which are really the 8 core skills that we work on. It was created by the Wisconsin Media Lab that focused on Wisconsin 3rd grade reading standards. I had saw when I looked it up, it was an elementary based program. So I did hit the help button and contact us, and I emailed them just to see if I wasn't understanding correctly and if I could differentiate the levels and things like that. They emailed me a few hours later and said, it's just for 3rd grade, but a lot of teachers can adapt it, and that's why we put all of the lesson plans online. So that's awesome. I personally like this, being a 4th grade intervention specialist. This interactive site focuses on this core skills, but at a little bit easier of a level because they are 4th graders, and then it can help them apply it at the 4th grade level. So I personally really like it. If you look over here, it says resources, and it lists the 8 skill areas this website focuses on. So I'm going to click one of them, and each one of these 8 has the same drop-down boxes, which this is awesome. It gives the educator definition and the student definition, which I thought was a really cool plus on this website. It shows online activities for the teachers to use with the students, then the Common Core state standards. Once again, this is Wisconsin, but I looked up the Ohio state standards, and they were very similar and easy to correlate. It then gives you specific lessons for each skill, books, 15-minute videos, which I did watch these, and they are really motivating and engaging for the students, and really use stories the videos cater to what the students would like. It's not boring at all. They also offer posters and a song, which I think this just shows that this digital tool caters to all students' needs and does more of a UDL approach. It shows the learning and gives opportunities for visual learning, kinesthetic learning, auditory learning, everything. So like I said, each one of these has all of these different resources with it, and then the standards are also listed. So this is an amazing resource. I'm going to go back home so we can look at the student view. So I'm going to click on students, and this is an awesome accessibility feature. You can click English or bilingual. So I'm going to click English. This is the login screen. So if a student is returning, they type in their key. If it's the first time, I'm going to type in my name, and I'm going to get my own key. It's so important to have your students write this key down because they're not going to finish this in one setting, and this digital tool only sends the reports via email once they complete all 8 skills, which is kind of a con, so I won't get any progress monitoring data until the end, but it's still such an awesome tool. I'm for sure using it in my classroom. So we're going to make sure the students write this down so it can save all their work, and press continue. And this is what the students will see. All 8 of these skills, they have the option to pick whichever ones they want, and they don't have to stay on it, which I think is awesome. You can save your work and move on to a different skill, which I think is so important because a lot of students, especially struggling readers, if something's difficult for them, they're not going to want to do it. But I think you'll see as we kind of dive into two of these that it's so engaging, it makes the learning fun, and they hardly even know they're working on the skill practices. So I'm going to click summarizing. And you get to choose an activity. Once again, really student friendly, focuses on that student choice, doesn't force them to just do one. I'm going to hit A Pirate's Life, and I'm actually going to turn the audio off right here in the bottom left. If the audio was on, it would read all of this out loud to the students, which is another awesome accessibility feature, especially for those students that aren't on grade level. I know personally all my students would have the audio on, and you get to watch a movie and then try it yourself.
Ahoy, matey. Welcome aboard. Now, sometimes I get carried away when I'm talking. Ahoy, matey.
So on the previous page, they told the directions on how to what to do. I skipped it because it was loud and you can't stop it from telling you the directions. But if you look right here, this is the little passage that the students need to read. It does have the option to play it out loud. And then you have to drag the main idea and then drag the supporting details. I love this. It's really kinesthetic. It makes the students stay engaged in the learning. So if you look, I'm going to pull over the main idea, and it does that beautiful sound to make them know it is correct. And then I'm going to pull over a detail. Once again, it's right. But then I'm going to pull this over. Oh, arg, and it's wrong, which is fine. And they get another option. It's not like they're penalized for getting it incorrectly. It's you work until you get it correct. A few accessibility features with this. I did use the switch controls because I know sliding and dragging is not the easiest thing in the world, and it did work. Another accessibility feature I like is this zoom option because it is kind of small, so the students can zoom in and out super easily. And I loved that. So you keep going on. They give you 6 or 7 of these. And then you can save your work, which the students should also always save their progress. Let's say they don't want to do it anymore. You click back to students, and it takes you back to the home page. Just to show another, I think, really like hands-on learning option here is the visualizing, which is kind of a hard skill for some students. Once again, I'm going to turn the audio off, but it would read this whole thing. Watch a video, which is awesome. So the students watch the video and it tells you exactly what to do, and then try it yourself. Then you get to choose any story you want. So I'm just going to pick Black Rat Snake. So the students would hit play or read this on their own, their option. They read it and then they draw the story, which I just personally love. You know, I'm not a good drawer, but you can do all of these different things. Add shapes, things like that. It's just so cool. You get to choose music for your own picture. I think it's awesome. It gets the students so engaged in the learning while also practicing these skills. Like I said, it's like this for all of them. It's just an awesome digital tool that teaches 8, in my opinion, foundational reading comprehension skills. And the students, I haven't started it yet with my students, but I'm for sure going to, would love it. I would say the only cons are that you can't adjust the skill level at all, and you don't get any immediate data right away. But other than that, it's multisensory. There's no time limit on answers, which is a huge thing, especially in special education. A lot of students need that extended time, and this allows all the time in the world. There's a lot of different skill practice, and the movies and the videos and the games are super engaging. I cannot wait to start this with my students. And I'm just so excited that I was able to review this tool.